to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George.
Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists. Today we continue our watch through of the Alien franchise with Alien³. No, it's Alien3. It was released on May 22nd, 1992. It was directed by David Fincher and written for the screen by Vincent Ward, David Giler, Walter Hill, and Larry Ferguson, based on characters created by Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And this is our first foray into the Alien franchise where we're not covering a certified classic. Aliens. Everybody knows. Everybody fucks with it. Now this, we're getting a little bit more like, okay, you're an Alien fan if you like this movie, huh? How are you feeling upon your first watch of Alien 3?
Hey, yeah, it's first time into some new territory since Romulus for me. So this was a blast back to the past, and then, man, I mean, the opening of the movie, it's it was hopeful at the end of Aliens. You know, we were in a good place. It was a happy ending. No, fuck Newt, fuck Hicks. They're gone. Bishop destroyed, or actually, he lived, but then got destroyed. He
could have been salvaged.
Yeah,
they were just like, nah, fuck it.
And then he comes back as the big bad of the company to be like, hey, I'm the friend. Okay, so off of the first two, it kind of stinks, but just having the whole movie in itself and having everything, it's another. Is it around 2 hours? I don't know if it is quite 2 hours, but another 2 hours that I can spend in this universe.
It was an hour and 54 minutes for you.
Okay, so it was a little over for you.
It was 2.5 hours for me.
Dang,
I watched the assembly cut of Alien 3 while Joe watched the theatrical here.
Yes.
Which, from what I've read, they play very differently. There's not necessarily huge differences in story and story beats, but there's enough there for me to probably come away liking it more. Because I watched the assembly cut of Alien 3 and I kind of go, hold the fucking phone. If it wasn't for coming after Alien and Aliens, this would be a pretty genuinely great movie. It's just, you have a couple of actually great movies to compare it to. The thing that's one of the most compelling things about it is that David Fincher directed it, who we obviously have actually done a little bit of a spotlight for in the past. We watched Fight Club and Social Network and what was the other one? Did we watch another one before The Killer, or were those the only two we watched before The Killer?
Did we? 7 was 52-year journey.
Yeah, we
believe,
did cover
right?
7. That was for the 52-year journey through film.
But yeah, not for that. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, yeah, so we've covered 4 David Fincher movies in the past. This is our 5th. This is David Fincher's debut feature film. The first movie he ever directed was the 3rd installment of the Alien franchise, which is a lot of weight to carry. And I think what I really appreciate about it is that tonally, he's really, really going for something. And you can really, I don't know if that's the impression you get in the theatrical, but it's definitely the impression you get in the assembly cut, which was is regarded as having really committed to what Fincher's intentions were.
Yeah, it's the difference is at least that I think you're right about the big beats being the same. Like it is, I mean, we're confined to a single prison, a maximum security, with double Y chromy boys or whatever. Like it's
chromo boys.
And kind of I guess a funny thought that first occurred to me during this viewing is like, oh shit, like we we don't have a double Y chromosome human, like that's just one of the people I don't know. We have we not unlocked it? Did they exist? Did they die out? Is like
the movie engineers gender. One of the universe engineers gender. There's a shot in Aliens that they show of who's the other chick in the first movie? What's her name? Fuck. The one who's always geeking.
Yes. I think I heard this was cool. The trans insert in freaking 1980 whatever.
It's not so much trans rep as much as it is like it's kind of
literal,
literal like at birth they decided she'd be better suited to be a woman, so they changed her to a woman.
Oh, so not even her to okay.
No, like it was up to.
I didn't know that.
It was up to the society to be like you are a woman, which is like so they do a lot of engineering of gender in this, which is why the double Y chromo boys exist.
It's like, I mean, this is I'm on the side of women most of the time, and I feel like 99% of the time, at least we have an X chromosome in us, at least we have some part of female in us, at least. But a double Y chromie boy, I don't know. Like this sounds terrible.
Dudes.
This is like I see why they are on this maximum security. A lot of them are rapists and murderers and just the worst. I don't know. At least we're seeing only the worst. Of the worst, I guess, because we are at a maximum security prison. But other than the Doctor, good old Charles Dance, good old Tywin.
Charles Dance, baby. Tywin fucking Lannister. Yeah. How'd you feel seeing him pop up?
That was sick, and he's always dissected. He always gets bloody, The dude loves to fucking just assert his dominance by just being doing something medical, I feel like. And that's how he's introduced in Thrones. Maybe not introduced quite here, but I thought he was... it reminded me a little bit of Mickey 17, of just how everyone was just, you could not fuck, no sex allowed. We have to conserve resources. But this is like a religious, thing where it's like, no temptation. We can't get into that. But then, the Doctor, I don't know. It just had to go down. I like it was an interesting, just character piece on Ripley rather than her just running away and surviving. It was just kind of like, hey, she was like, hey, yeah, you find me attractive? In what way?
Let's get down. She said, I've been out here a long time.
Yeah.
It's
been a while, dude.
I woke up, it'd been 50 years, and then I don't know how long it's been since then, so...
And actually...
What's up?
An alien fucked her already, sadly. Raped her, actually, is the correct word. Yeah, how did
violated
that? It's kind of just like, well, Newt's dead, Hicks is dead, but Newt drowned, but then there was the melted thing that
the melted thing was Ripley.
That was Ripley's canister?
Yeah.
Oh.
What you see at the beginning during where a face hugger crawls onto somebody, that's on Ripley.
Oh, okay. So wow.
That's when she was impregnated with an alien.
Okay. So
now the implication is that they never actually escaped anything, and that a facehugger made it onto the ship with them, and that they never were safe, and that they didn't actually succeed in their mission.
Yeah, that's what I guess I was trying to figure out, is where did that facehugger come from, or it was just it just happened.
I don't know that the continuity is strictly there, but that's what they decided to say happened, which it is what it is. It's a giant swing in the opposite direction from Aliens, which is a...
and I wonder
I can respect the idea. I can respect the idea that you're going, I want to tonally shift this all the way back to closer to Alien than Aliens, but even more gothic and kind of...
Oh, yeah.
I love the aesthetic. I love the general sensibility about this movie. I love the planet, Fury. Fury 161. I don't know. One of the things that I read is a big difference is that you get a lot more atmosphere shots of the exterior of the prison.
Yeah.
In the assembly cut, which gives this a grandiosity that I think it really deserves. This movie feels big to me, even though we are in these confined hallways and small spaces and everything. I really love Charles S. Dutton, the gentleman.
Yes.
He's probably the highlight of the movie, aside from Charles Dance and Sigourney Weaver, of course. I love Dylan. Great character. And Clemens gets to play the Charles Dance gets to play the John Hurt role, where you really like him, but he's only in the movie for about 45 minutes, and then it's over. Yeah, I mean, I genuinely quite enjoy this movie. More so than I remembered. Last year when I was watching the franchise in anticipation of Romulus, this gets the short end of the stick a little bit because it's right in the middle. And like I've said before, my top 4 favorite movies in the franchise are the first 2 and the last 2 before Romulus. So 3 and 4 in the middle, like, I didn't remember this being as good as I find it now.
Yeah, I mean,
it kind of gets sandwiched and it can get lost in the shuffle. And there's a reason for that. I think the middle is too long. I think the middle is forgettable. And ironically, that is one of the spots that the assembly cut is inserting an entire plot line.
Yeah. A whole nother capture happ's in the toxic waste room that I just didn't get at all. And it's
in the assembly cut, Gallic, the guy who they said Gallic's probably barely in the fucking movie in your version.
He just disappears. Bro's just gone. And I thought he just died in the hallway.
Is there a scene in the theatrical cut where Dylan has to go over to them at like lunch and is like, all right, I'm hearing there's some disharmony here. What's going on? And the 2 boys are like, I'm not working with Gallic anymore. He smells bad and he's crazy.
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Yeah,
okay.
0.
Yeah, see, like, they set it up hard within this, like, it's a through line that Gallic is crazy and you can't trust him and that, like, something bad's gonna happen. They lock him up when they capture the alien. Before they capture the alien, because he's, like, the first one to see it.
I guess
there's a dragon that killed my boys, you know, like, so they do lock him up in that version. They just don't let him out. He's just gone.
Well, I guess I saw that he saw the alien and he saw his friend get killed, and then he was taken back, and then he was like, "Oh, it wasn't me. I swear." And they just kind of had him in the infirmary, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's where they lock him up.
And then he just kind of was there. It wasn't like we're gonna lock you up and we think you're crazy. Well, I mean, no, they did kind of say, like, I don't know. I feel like Dylan was actually kind of defending him. He was like, "Well, no, I know this man. He's never lied. He's never lied to me. He's done some heinous things, but like, no, I think like there is something more going on here."
Yeah. And that regardless, what they do in the assembly cut is they go ahead and they place him in like cuffs in the infirmary. Have somebody guard him because,
dang.
I mean, like, it's not that he's crazy. It's that also drove him more crazy, you know? Like, he was already crazy, and then he watched this alien dismember his buddies, so, like, he's fucked. Yeah, and then he convinces Morse, who is, throughout the movie, and I'm sure he's in the theatrical, he's the one who pours the hot lead and stuff.
Yes.
He was kind of like Morse. He's a good dude. He means
a wimp
well
at
anyway.
first, I guess. And then, like, he kind of
they're all dicks
through,
at first,
and
then you kind of go, oh, well, you know, it's all a matter of circumstance, you know, whatever. He's like, we're friends, aren't we, Morse? And he's like, yeah, we are, man. And he's like, don't I always give you cigarettes whenever I get them? He's like, yeah, you do. And he's like, all right, man, just don't be an idiot. Be safe. Stop. Don't fuck with anybody, because if you fuck around, I'll get shit forever. And so he lets him out, and Gallic immediately hits him over the head and knocks him out with something, and then goes and lets out the alien.
Wow. Yeah.
He's like, he opens the door. He's like, I must see it again. And he goes up to like the guy who's guarding the alien. And he's like, I'm sorry. And he slices his neck open, and he goes, I'm sorry.
He kills the guard? Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, dude's dude's actually nuts.
I mean, like, that's the thing, is it's a good part of the movie, but now that knowing that's the part that they didn't include, it probably could do without it.
Yeah, because I mean, he was kind of there and just in the infirmary and kind of just crazy. You could tell he's kind of just going crazy, but he was just in shock, like, and that was it. And then he's just gone, and then it's like, well, okay, never. Yeah,
the assembly cut does a good job of setting up the fact that he's already crazy as fuck too. Like, he's already losing it, and then that happens, and it sends him over the edge a little bit, which is why they decide we need to keep him away from everybody.
I hear that there was a weird, like, disembodied vision or something that Ripley had of her body washing up on a beach, or like, did she wake up on a beach or something like that?
No, in the assembly cut, she literally washes up on the beach when she gets there. Her pod crashes into the ocean. It bursts open, and I guess she washes up onto the beach.
Oh, wow. I guess, I didn't see her wash up on the beach at all.
That's where Charles Dance finds her. He like carries her back to the facility. Like, it's a lot more intimate. That's one thing that I really do like about this version of the movie, is I expect it does a lot more to build up their connection. Apparently the first act in the theatrical cut is probably half as long to 3/4 as long. Like, we spend a lot of time with Charles Dance and Sigourney Weaver in the assembly cut, and it really, really benefits the movie.
Yeah, that's that's what I heard, that a lot of the 30 minutes that's extra is a lot in the very beginning, and then
beginning, and then everything else I've read is that plot line, which is probably 10 minutes of the movie, you know, and then other changes seem to be literal choices that happen throughout the movie. It's the same event, but different versions of it happening.
Yeah.
And the assembly cut.
Alien? What the
dude? Like, the Ox is sick.
What the frick? What is going on there?
So during the funeral for Hicks and Newt, which they have in the theatrical cut, right?
Okay, yeah, they toss him in the.
Toss him in the furnace, which is where she also ends up.
True.
Which is
jumping.
Nice. That's kind of moving in its own way.
Nice. I didn't. Okay. That's
nice. There's a little bit of there's at least a fraction of sentimentality there, you know, like, but regardless, during the funeral, whenever Dylan starts giving his speech where he's like, we commit these bodies to the void, you know, and he's waxing very poetically about their innocence, and, you know, why do the innocent die, and they'll never see what we become, and we'll never see what they will, and all that stuff. It's intercut with the Ox in this butcher shop, or not their butcher shop, but like where they prepare their food, like, and it just bursts out of the Ox stomach, like, about twice. I mean, a lot bigger than the previous chest bursters we've seen.
Wow.
Because it grew in an ox, and it crawls on all fours instead of being like something weird that scoots around. Like, it's a dog in the theatrical cut, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And like, it's so, it's honestly like, you could tell it's rushed. I don't know. Like, it's like they just kind of laid the dog on its side. It got like a little, it didn't like, I don't know. And its chest just breathed a little fast, and then just, and then it was out, and then it was like, oh, okay, we're dealing with a fucking
who would do that to a dog? Yeah,
and but so it was still cool to be like, ooh, new creature, you know, it can, you know, out of a dog. But in, I don't know, the Ox, I guess, makes it that would just, I don't know.
Was that the same time the dog?
Yes, like, it was intercut the same way. Gotcha. It was like as the funeral was going on, and Ripley, you know, her nose bled right whenever the chest burst, like right whenever it came out of the dog, and I wonder if it right whenever it came out of the Ox, if it did the same. But like it happened, and one other time she woke up whenever the first like murder happened. I feel like in the fan tube, she like got woken up right whenever the first murder happened, and it felt like they were trying to imply like she she does know because she has one in her, and they all are like, do they have a hive fucking mind thing?
There could be some sort of connection, if not a hive mind, you know, like because
yeah,
I love that line she delivers when she's like, "Come out, I'm part of the family now." I love that. I love that shit.
Oh my god, it's so hard. Just like ultimate plot armor too. You know, it's like and I guess she does sacrifice herself at the end, and it's kind of like,
well, and that's the thing, is that she's gonna die no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's why she has plot armor, is because they're like, she's going to die. Like there's no question
like,
about it. This is inescapable. She will not live. But maybe she can take this motherfucker with it, you know. Like I love that part.
It was the
that's
only
why I'm like,
time that I hoped the company might actually step in and take it out of her somehow, and like she lives. But then it's like the sacrifice play, I think, is much better, and actually that give her end with Newton.
Oh, it's great. I genuinely like the assembly cut of Alien 3. It's still a little bit messy, and it's far from perfect, but I really like it. I would recommend finding a version of the assembly cut, and I'd be willing to bet you'd like it more. That's just the impression I'm getting from everyone I've seen review the movie, and having seen both. It gains a lot of atmosphere, is kind of what I'm gathering. It gains a lot of character. Like Dylan is more well-rounded, and Clemens is even more thoroughly explored. I probably like Morse more than you do, because I probably get to see him be nicer a little bit more.
Yeah,
you know, there's just a few things. Like one of my favorite shots in the movie is like, oh, you probably do see this. Whenever Gallic, after his homies get taken, and he's like eating in the mess hall. And it's like dark as fuck, and he's just sitting there by himself eating, splattered in blood, and someone walks up to him with like all those plates in their hands, and are like, "What the fuck happened?" No, that's a goodie.
Yeah, I don't think so, man. Yeah, it's crazy how much is just kind of 30 minutes of material, man. That's
like, a lot of movie, man. That's an entire act of a movie in some cases. I think it. There's no doubt it benefits it. The ending too, the sacrifice for Ripley.
Yeah. What? I was a little confused at the end of the theatrical. I was like tearing up. Like actually, I'm like, oh shit! Like no, this is actually
the chest
happening.
Burster
Like
really
this is
ruins
the end.
things.
And then it comes out of her chest, and I thought at first it was just trying to escape because it knew it was about to die. But then she like hugs it. She doesn't like hold it to like trap it to make sure she's like killing it. It's more of like a loving hug. And I'm like, wait. I'm like, I'm like, is she embracing the only child? Like I like the second child. I'm
Right.
like, what? I'm like, wait, what's going on here? And then so it just got I don't know. It made the sacrifice just weird, I guess. Yeah. And there was a lot more going on.
It's a lot cleaner in the assembly. The idea that it doesn't burst out. It's just, it's a lot more dignified. You know, it feels a lot more clean, and like it doesn't undermine her sacrifice, I don't think. I think it's just like, and I appreciate a lot of the sacrifice plays in this one. In the assembly cut, there's actually, you know, the whole sequence with Gallic and trying to trap the alien. One of them sacrifices themselves to get the alien in there. One of the prisoners is trapped and is like, come and get me, you motherfucker, and like runs away, and like it's a good moment. It plays really, really well, and then Gallic undermines it like crazy.
Damn. Yeah,
because they're like safe. There's a point in the middle of this movie where they're good, and Gallic fucks it all up.
Yeah, that damn. Because Ripley even explicitly said like, oh, if we can get something in there, then it can't get out. And they're like 100%. And then
that's in that movie.
Yeah, like I hear that, and then I'm thinking, oh, so 100% they're gonna trap it in there, and then somehow it's gonna get out. Like I'm thinking it's gonna eat through the walls or some shit, and then it just they never go back to that room. They only open it up to get the barrels out of the whatever liquid that blows up the basement and shit. That's it. That's the
so
only time
funny.
they go in there.
They even delivered the line that if you get something in there, you can't get it. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Ripley says that, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait until whatever the fuck, we get back in this room. Nope, never again. Just never.
I
brought
know.
back
I just
up.
said that like the movie's long in the middle, and it probably could lose the Gallic stuff. I don't know that that's what it is for me. One of the things that I want to love more than I do is when the alien starts killing people. It's just kind of one after the other, and it's kind of like it's stuff we've seen before. I appreciate that everything else in this movie is kind of new. It's relatively like she's with a group of people. They're not facing aliens like she was with the last group of people. They're facing one motherfucker. They've got it. They know they've got it. It's in here somewhere. Let's fucking find it. It's a underdog story inherently. We are trying to take this thing down. We'll work together to do it. It's an unlikely motley crew of people who don't work together. It's a good idea. And I think that whenever it falls back on the kind of classic alien slasher thing, which is quintessential to the identity of the franchise, people need to die. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It was just kind of like, oh, I've seen this before. So I kind of tune out a little bit. And it sucks because, like Charles Dance is probably the best. It's probably the most on the nose version of this trope where he's finally revealed himself completely. He's been totally honest. And then he's like, all right, well, bye.
Yeah, you've done exactly what you need. You've told us what you needed to, and now you can die. Thank you very much.
Exactly. And this thing you've been hiding. I don't know when does he die in the movie for you? How long into the movie is that?
Let's see. So, I'd say, pretty like halfway, if not before.
Okay.
It's pretty early, and it's very unexpected. It's just like he's like, would you not trust me with the needle? I guess I'm assuming the death happens the same way. That just it comes
the same.
from above,
it's
just whacks him in the head. It literally just like puts a hole in his skull. I feel like, and just takes him up to the vent. So I thought maybe like he could have still been alive, and they were gonna go into the nest to maybe get him or something. But then, because Ripley even says like, where are you whenever I need you now? And I'm like, well, who's she referring to there? Is that like Newt? Is that Hicks? Is that like, or is that Clemens here? Like, is that like, oh damn, I need the doctor to take, this out of me, or like I wish I had you now, sort of thing. And I thought
she's actually talking about the alien at that time.
Just
she wants to die.
It's neither. It is
she wants to die. So she's like, for the first time, I'm actively seeking you out to kill me. And
That's
I can't fucking find you. You've been right behind me the whole goddamn time, and now I can't fucking find you. Yeah.
And then she thinks she sees it, and it's just a pipe. I love that. Was kind of cool. That was
and it played into what you were talking about in the first one, how like the aliens, like their camouflage is technology and piping and industrialism a little bit.
Yeah, and the. At least I guess the bugs that were like crawling out of there. Is that like, what was it? Something about on the beach and lice was established there or something like that.
Yes.
And
it's the planet's very aggressive lice.
Okay.
And that's why they shaved Sigourney Weaver's head.
Yeah, she just kind of, her head is just shaved randomly. And then it's just kind of like, I thought of it as just kind of like her kind of blending in a little more, or trying to, and then just kind of becoming a little more hardened.
Part of it.
But yeah, lice was never mentioned whatsoever.
That's funny.
In the movie.
Yeah, no, that's why they shave her head. Did you get the autopsy and everything
of Newt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's a strong scene. I like that one. Sigourney Weaver gets to really perform during that.
That's true.
And we get that, sad moment whenever he's like, was she your daughter? And she's like, no, she wasn't. But like, there's that part of her that's like wants to say yes, she was, but you know, like she wasn't. So like,
but Newt did call her mom at the end of the movie. So I don't know. She could have claimed it one time. You know, I think like this is. You can claim that.
I don't know that she. I think I take it as she doesn't need to this person. I think there's an element to it that Charles Dance might not let her. Like you might not want to see her this way if she's your daughter. True. You know, and you know, at that point it wouldn't be his place to stop her from seeing her, but he doesn't stop her anyway. So I think it was just more or less like. I think she just took the safer answer as far as like, you know, and then her like massaging her chest and stuff, trying to figure out if it's in like, oh my God, it's like, forgive me and all that. Oh, it's devastating, man. It's really, really well done.
And Clemens being the only one to be like suspicious. Like he's the only one that red flags.
Since I'm not a fucking idiot.
Yeah. And I guess
would you like to tell me what we were looking for in there?
Is he also a double Y as everyone else, or is he happened to be the doctor that they employ? Like, is he a regular, you know, XY man, or is he a double Y man?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because, I mean, he seems to have no qualms. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess he's been alone, you know, in this prison, only with double Y men for however long, and they all swear to... what you know they have. I don't know. I guess I don't really know much of their religion and stuff. I guess that's delving into a lot more in the assembly cut. But it's like just gathered. You know, it's not. They don't make it clear, but it's just like they don't. I don't know. They don't give in to any temptation because well, they don't have anything. You know,
they're not strictly following any specific sect of Christianity, but it is an offshoot of Christianity. They worship God as we understand Him in Christian practices. But them practicing celibacy and stuff is more a product of their environment than it is their faith. But they've decided to make it an element of their faith, like they're kind of like they've taken a priesthood or something, you know.
It's kind of like, well, we can either be sad that we don't have any women out here, or
how about we agree we aren't fucking each other, fellas? How about it?
Let's be faithful. Actually, let's. But at least Dylan, you know, he gets to deliver some hard. Like, it is priesty a little bit, but also at the same time, it's like general-esque, and then also just hard. Like, I don't know. It's like three different...
he's a great character. Charles Dutton, I have a tough time not going with him for performance. I love the scene whenever Sigourney comes up to him and thanks him for what he says at the funeral, and he goes, "You don't want to know me, lady. I am a murderer and a rapist of women."
Damn. Yeah, I mean...
And she's like, all right, damn.
I guess, kind of hard to like him. Yeah, that was kind of hard. Yeah, I must make you nervous. Sits down.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. You know, like that's and immediately everyone's kind of like, okay, she's got a dope.
All right now.
And that's why I'm like, what I do also like about the movie generally, and obviously it's not a perfect allegory or anything, or I don't think it's exactly the intention of the movie to have any sort of commentary on the prison industrial complex, but I think it's impossible not to whenever we have a privatized prison planet enforcing work, enforcing labor on prisoners, trapping them in this environment, making them expendable once again. And you know, like it's there's a lot there where I feel like there's definitely a degree of commentary on the American prison system, and I do think that whenever I say, you know, like I end up really liking Charles S. Dutton's Dylan, even though he does say I'm a murderer and a rapist of women, I do think that there is something to the idea that is what prison should be. Not strictly what it is. Like it should be a place for reformation and a place to kind of evolve yourself. Like and not just a place where you're going to be tortured until you need to rejoin the world again. You know, and I think that's I think that there's something here where, and obviously this is not that prison, but that's something that Dylan has managed to find in himself through his solitude. You know, that sequence whenever he talks to Sigourney Weaver and is like, "You don't get it. The world out there doesn't exist to us. We have our own world now, and it ain't much, but it's ours." You know, like it's he's become institutionalized. You know.
A lot of like powerhouse scenes came from him. Like whenever Ripley was like, I this is what it is. You have to kill me. Sorry, but
right.
This is just how it is. And then he,
kill yourself.
Like no, actually help us, or if not, fuck.
Well,
you,
and I like that it still comes from a place of practicality. Like it's not because I won't kill you. I will kill you.
Yeah, he's like, no, I understand. He's like, I get it, and very honorable, but
I need you. So if this thing won't kill you, maybe we can use that, and then I'll kill you. Okay, I got you. I love that. Apparently, so 85. The
85, yeah, the IQ, the
IQ
company
guy.
boy, yeah,
the company man, Aaron, I believe, is the character, the actual character name.
Aaron, okay.
Apparently, well, and I don't know if you recognized him. He's in the Phantom Menace. He's Rick Ollie. He's like one of the Naboo pilots.
Really?
Whenever they're like getting off the planet and stuff. Yeah, it's he's one of those guys. But regardless, he was unhappy with the way his character got treated. He was originally very competent and not stupid, and was just a company man. And then it got rewritten for him to be kind of a bozo, and he wasn't sure why. And it does end up muddling his character quite a bit, and he ends up being kind of a non-factor. But he's also prominent enough for it to be kind of strange that he's prominent.
Yeah. It's I guess his end was kind of, at least he, I don't know, realized who the enemy was.
I mean, like he makes his
like,
choice, and I can appreciate that he makes his choice. But it's also kind of like, God damn, man, why the?
Yeah, and
it felt like more of that melodramatic darkness just for the sake of being dark.
Who was the synthetic in the original in Alien?
Ian Holm.
Yeah, I guess the character name, but I guess it
Ash.
Yeah, Ash. Yes, the company. Aaron, 85, he kind of looked like Ash a little bit. Oh, that's true. Like, and in the scene where he was reading the computer lines of like the company being like, "No, you actually must keep Ripley alive, get her in, containment, whatever. We will be there in 2 hours now, actually. Waiting for acknowledgement.
Right.
The shot of him looking into the computer was like, I felt like almost a 1-to-1 of like how Ian Holm was just, I don't know, looking into the computer. Or, I don't know if he was getting a command from the company during the time or whatever, or mother or something, but I don't know. It was very, I just got Ian Holm vibes, I guess, the whole time while watching him. And it was, I don't know. He was just kind of like, okay. Like, at least there is a company stand-in for the movie, right. And it at least plays to the prison industrial complex a little bit with how like they get supplies every 6 months on the regular. That's normal to them. But their plumbing doesn't, nothing works there. Their cameras don't work. They have nothing. There's no weapons. They don't have, they barely have any shit at all. But then the very second that they're like, oh, alien species that we're very, very interested in, we will be there in 12 hours. Don't worry. We are on the way immediately. And then it's like, oh, Ripley
never mind. We're moving it up
with one. Actually, we'll be there in 2 hours. And I guess time has passed, whatever. But it's like, I think it's at least to show to Ripley's point of being like, they don't give a fuck about you. They didn't give a fuck about the Marines. They didn't give a fuck about the original group that was sent out tasked about this. We were all expendable. And do you think they're going to give a fuck about what does he say? Like something of a group of nobodies that found something at the edge of space. A group of lifers
who found God at the edge of space. Yeah.
Man. And then they all look at themselves like, damn. They're like, she's she is just fucking
She's
right.
and that's a great scene too. Mm-hmm. I love whenever they get fired up, and it's whenever they decide to rally around each other. And I like Morse in that moment when he's like, "I don't disagree, but why the fuck should we not wait for guns?"
Valid point, you know. I mean, fair enough,
and she's like, "Because they will kill you. Like I'm not fucking around. They will kill your ass." I really like that stuff, and I think that. I mean, Sigourney Weaver. She's as good as she ever is. I absolutely adore her in this movie, and I think that they do a great job of concluding her story. Actually, there's a finality to it that I really, really appreciate. And that last shot is the ending the same, or like we're kind of fading through the complex like we did the Nostromo at the beginning of Alien, and it's her last transmission. This is Ellen Ripley. This is Lieutenant Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off, and then it's like transmission ended. Credits.
Yes.
Like that's sick. That's a hard ending.
That was nice. Yeah, it's like crazy. Like the more like I talk about it, it's like and I didn't hate the movie at all.
No.
Like while I was watching, I think the middle part was just a little bit boring. Like it was just a little slow.
That's what I've come to understand about the movie is generally it's serviceable. It's just nowhere near as good as some other Alien movies, which is why it's like even upon rewatch, I'd be shocked if this wasn't still 5 for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I do come away, actually, I will expressly say I do love this movie. I still don't know that it's higher than 5. In the 7 movie franchise, it's 5 or 6.
Hey, that's a good sign.
It is. It's a great sign, and frankly, like the only one I'm confident is below it is still a great fucking time. So, you know, like we're dealing with a good franchise here, and I think that this one, you got to find the assembly cut. I wonder how much it would do for you. I own Aliens and Alien 3. I actually own all of them on DVD except for Romulus. And Alien 3, I found this special edition package that was like it has the assembly cut and the theatrical cut. So I might have to watch the theatrical at some point just to see. But
it was still like all the good parts. You know, I feel like there's still a whole lot of good. And I think the part where I said in Aliens that I didn't like is how like it wasn't, the set design didn't feel as
they knock that
everything
out of the park here.
Yeah, it's back, like it's back here, and we're confined to one area. We don't leave, you know, we're only in this prison, so it is kind of like Alien in that sense, where one ship, you can't go anywhere else. It might be a big ass ship, but it's like it is still...
Yeah, we're still confined. It's like the Nostromo. The Nostromo was a big ship, yeah.
And so it was... I liked that aspect again. And so like the set design, I liked the only part that kind of was disappointing was the door and hallway. Like whenever they were trying to trap it and lure it into under the lead. Yeah, it's like A4 closed, B18. And it's like, it just looked like kind of the same thing just over and over again, and then it's like, oh, this person died. I don't know who that was, and there was no backstory to them. They're just kind of dead now. And then, okay, this person's dead. And then they, I don't know. It didn't seem, at least, like the plan was clear. You know, it's like lure it under the molten lead, and we'll fucking pour it on top. And it's like, okay, that tracks. I love that plan. It's the only thing they got. And then they do it. You know, the sacrifice play hard by Dylan. And then it leaps out of the fucking... I was so weak. I was just like, holy fuck. I was like, there's no way. And I'm like, these things are just indestructible. And I thought we were getting into a Wolverine-esque xenomorph at this point. I thought that it was going to be even more skeleton. Indestructible. Yeah. But then I love the fact that... is this Morse here?
Ripley does it, but Morse goes like
the one that is like, yes, the sprinklers on. So kind of the the one that is, at least in the movie, everyone thinks that he's actually kind of the dumbass. I feel like, even though 85, they make fun of him for his IQ, whatever. It's like, I think he's at least...
It's Morrison 85 who bump heads repeatedly because they're kind of competing for who's smarter.
And actually,
they have that. There's actually a great scene between Aaron and Morse that comes as a result of Gallic letting the alien out, where they argue about the course of action, like what they need to do and who's at fault and who's wrong. And, Ripley and Dylan are like, shut the fuck up.
I think I do see that. Actually, they do have some back and forth, but yeah, I guess I don't have the background of
the context for it. Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice at least Morris having that moment kind of at the end and having, it was, I don't know, it was sick. I didn't think about it. It actually was I thought that they were fucked. Like, I thought there was no way, like, they're going to kill it now that it jumped out of the molten lead. Like, I thought their only play was gone. And then just the simple sprinkler, I'm like, oh shit, oh yeah. And then, I don't know. So I thought that was actually really cool. A cool way to
Great
dispose.
idea for how... That's the first time we've watched an alien actually get killed, by the way.
That's true. Wow. Only ejected or trapped, or I guess a lone face hugger got, in the ship, whatever. But yeah, this is dunzo. I mean, this one is not coming back. That's for sure. I guess, yeah, they get flamed, actually. I guess a bunch of them just get burned and flamethrower.
Well, the eggs get flamethrown in that movie. That's Well,
don't they blast? Actually, they blast. They just shoot a shit ton of in Aliens, right? They just they open fire.
They completely disregard their orders. Well, they try to. It's unclear whether or not they succeed.
Yeah, do they? Do they die? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of
this
babies
is the first time
die.
we've watched an alien get
Just
fucking murdered and known, hey, that alien just got murdered,
one, the big one, and the main, and I don't know. This one is the only one we got. I thought, Alien 3, and even on the post, 3 times the suspense, 3 times the danger, 3 times the terror. I'm like, so there's going to be 3 of these fuckers, and I can't wait for it, I'm like, for sure. Or 3-headed, I don't know. I was kind of waiting for the other 2 to make themselves known. But
if you're looking for mutated aliens, you've got much to look forward to, my friend.
Okay, so I guess my prayers will be answered later on. But yeah, I thought, at least 3 times. I don't know. It's all 3, all about 3. But then really 3 is nowhere. It doesn't really come up. I guess it's not really a factor in the movie. But well, hold up. There is the dog. There is Ripley inside, the one in Ripley, and and then I guess that's it. Maybe Ripley herself, it becomes an alien. If she were, I don't know. Yeah, I'm reaching now. I'm reaching for the 3rd.
It's tough though. I'm with you though. I do think it ended up just being more aesthetic.
Yeah, that's true. It markets well. It is a cool tagline.
And like I said, this was the movie that my aunt and uncle went on their first date to.
Alien 2. We're seeing the second movie, but it's
Aliens
3.
2.
Yeah. They had to have been like, huh? Like this. Why is the 3? They had to be even more confused by the 3.
And that's why, I mentioned, I think it's, I wonder if it's just in their head kind of become Aliens 2, and they knew what they were seeing at the time, but it didn't, they didn't pay that much attention to it,
it's just, they're going out to see a movie,
Yeah, exactly.
Is the
new
Alien
movie
they know of.
It's the new Alien movie, whatever that is, the new Aliens movie, the Aliens sequel. Regardless, yeah, I do love, I love it. I think that, and that's more than I thought I would be able to say about it. Last night, I did not feel like watching this movie last night. We finished recording our podcast about Superman, and I wanted to watch something like that.
Yeah,
I was like, I wanted to watch it. So I was like, fucking Christ, I gotta watch this dark. It won me over in 5 minutes, dude. I was 5 minutes in and I was like, oh, wait a second. hold on, this might be a lot better than I remember. And then it was. And I remembered it pretty positively, but it was... Yeah. It didn't blow me away or anything, but it was better than I remember. So I do think that the assembly cut is worth finding wherever you can, because it's worthy of your time. But
Ripley kind of like Superman in that way, where just her being around, like the hope, or like the chances are still there. And even when she gets the most gloomful and doomful, she knows she's dead, and she just kind of wants to end it. At least there's like someone else to help her up and be like, no, right. Like, remember who you are, and he just knows how. I don't know, like, whether he just wants her help and that's it. I think it's also like, hey, like, I can tell that you're a fucking badass, through what just the few actions I've seen.
If you go, we might be fucked, like...
like, we are going to die. I think he's already accepted his death at this point.
We're all going to die. It is just a matter of when. I love
you
that.
You want to be on your feet or on your knees begging.
And I ain't one for begging. Yeah, I loved that, dude. Charles Dutton, hard to not go with him for like the double nod, frankly. Yeah. I think he did an incredible performance, and he might be my character. Character-wise, I think I'm going to have to go Ellen Ripley. It's a great send-off. We see her at her most vulnerable, which is saying a lot, because she's been quite vulnerable. She's been put through the fucking ringer. But that's what's cool too, is we see her at her most vulnerable, but it also gives her most strength. Like, she's like, I faced this motherfucker twice before, bro, and I faced a lot of them. We got this shit, I
don't even have guns or a flamethrower or nothing, and I don't give a fuck. She's like, I'm going for it. And
you have torches, the ability to make fire. Men has had the ability to do that since the Stone Age.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, well, damn. We
it's
do.
Like, damn, I'm not that dumb.
We got a couple things, I guess. But yeah, it was funny, and rough at times. She was sexually raped, quite, I don't know, almost, saved at the very last second, but it was very close.
Dylan came through there, which was huge.
And so it's like, it's rough, it's dark, it's very grim, but at least the just inescapable, the insurmountable, what's the
insurmountable,
fucking beginning? Yeah. Insurmountable odds, and just the human story, I think, is always there. Like, of Alien is there. So, it's, and again, I do love the look of it. I don't think it quite has the visual prowess of the first one, and like the light and just all the smoke and atmosphere.
No,
but the set design was still...
I still found it to be a very good-looking movie, and I found it to be really well edited. That was one of my favorite things about the movie, was that the way things were kind of intercut, I thought were really well done. The ending is obviously kind of a caveat to that. That's really hard to follow, and that's, that's not particularly well edited. But, the sequence that I was talking about earlier, the funeral for Hicks and Newt, is one of the best edited sequences in the franchise. The intercutting of the ox, and also the overlaying of shots as they peruse the funeral. I love that stuff. So, I'm happy with it. And I'm excited to throw a rating at it. But yeah, Alien 3, man, I didn't expect to be as happy with it as I am. I didn't think I would be. And it reaffirms the identity of the franchise, I think. Aliens, we are more like this than we are Aliens from here on out. Tonally. We don't get what we want a lot anymore. It's the idea is that we try our best to win, and maybe we do, but we're also gonna die trying. That's how we roll. Because like even Alien didn't have a happy ending. You know what I'm saying? It's still very somber at the end. Whenever she's like, "Everyone's dead. I'm the last survivor. I'm leaving."
All right, see you. Wake me up. Hopefully, I'll wake up. Who knows?
Yeah, she's like, I don't even know where I'm going, but hopefully someone finds me. So, that. That's why I'm like it. Aliens is an exceptionally happy ending to a film in this franchise. There's nothing even remotely like that again. I guess Romulus has a little bit of that. Like there's hope. It's not necessarily happy, but there's hope for what they're gonna go do. But
just expect.
Yeah, no, this is.
I mean, hey,
it's grim.
I mean, they're xenomorphs, you know. They fucking suck. Like
I
think that's the point. It's like I think that it's also to be gruesome. It's to be gory. It's to be good.
And they're perfect killing machines.
Scary.
Somebody's gonna die. You know, like that's just how it's gonna go. But I'm excited for Alien Resurrection. Reminder: watch that shit baked out of your fucking mind. Just watch it absolutely fried, because it's pretty widely considered the worst movie in the Alien franchise. But
let's go.
I have a fantastic time watching it. I can't wait to watch it again. It's got Winona Ryder. It's got Ron Perlman. Yeah. I'm super down. And it does have Sigourney Weaver. How? We'll find out.
It's called Resurrection. You know, so I
that's
mean,
right, baby. That's right, baby.
She jumps out of the fucking fire just like the lead xenomorph and comes out Wolverine.
I mean, we had that imagery as she fell in. She was like, at least in the assembly cut, she's crossed up.
This is true.
She's in the T pose. So like you know, they laid the seeds there, and now they must grow. But regardless. I think we can end this episode on Alien 3. I'll do the plugs, and then we will rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10. If you would, go ahead and like and subscribe wherever you might be listening. Download wherever you might be listening. It's a huge help to me. But if you do leave a 5-star rate and review, that is an even bigger help. That helps our SEO like crazy. The more reviews you have, the higher you pop up in search engines and everything. So please help me out there. And 5 stars is preferred, but it doesn't have to be. I'd prefer it, but it doesn't have to be. It should be, but it doesn't have to be. Let's see. We are going to be back next week with Alien Resurrection, like I said. We are also doing Twin Peaks Fire Pod with me. Next week is Season 2, Episode 14, which is, I mean, we're getting near the end of the original run of Twin Peaks. Obviously, I say near the end. We've still got like 10 weeks left, but it feels like we're getting there. It feels like we're getting close. So you ought to check that out. If you've never seen the show, it's for you. If you have seen the show, it's for you. It's friendly to the first-time viewer of Twin Peaks and the rewatcher alike. I'm the rewatcher. Joe is the first-time viewer, and we're having a great time. There's no spoilers for stuff that happens after where we're at. You do have to have seen where we are at or up to it. So go ahead and watch Twin Peaks and tune in whenever you can. I'd appreciate it greatly. We've also got Geek With Me, which is kind of the podcast we're servicing by doing this Alien watch through. We're watching the entire Alien franchise in anticipation of Alien Earth, the TV show coming in August, which we will be covering on Geek With Me. It's our nerd shit podcast. We just covered Superman earlier this week. We're going to be covering Fantastic Four, The First Steps, here in about a week and a half. Cannot wait for that, so you ought to check that out. Subscribe and everything. Get ready for Alien Earth coming in August. That is where we'll be covering that. Let's see. Again, leave a 5-star rate and review. You can follow me on Substack. Subscribe on Substack. I'm trying to get into the Kansas City Film Critics Circle, and I need 5,000 eyes on my work per month. And I'm nowhere near that. So I need you to go ahead and help me out there. Subscribe to that. Get some more eyes on my stuff. I also wrote a review for Superman. I plan on writing a review for every movie I see in theaters. I just haven't been able to go to the theater as much as I would like to. So I would appreciate that greatly. Let's see. I think that's that. Again, leave a 5-star rate and review and download. Let's rate this thing. How are we feeling on a scale of 1 to 10 about Alien 3?
Well, it is Alien 3. My gut took me to a 3-star on Letterboxd. So,
gotcha.
But after talking through it, I don't know. I think I might like it a little more than a 3-star. And maybe critically, I don't know. It's weird to compare it to Alien and Aliens. It's like they are just made so well.
It's not as good as those by any stretch.
If I were to jump into the franchise with this first, jump in here, I feel like I would view it way differently. I feel like be like, oh, well, this was still cool. Weird, creature dog. I wouldn't know all the lore or whatever, but like it's still suspenseful. Maybe the hallway scene could have been a little better, but like the sacrifice plays are really, really good. All of Ripley's stuff I think is awesome. So like there's not much to actually really complain about. It's just that it feels like we know what they can do. We've seen what they're capable of doing, or at least like it's in the franchise, and the previous two are just so good that it's like, well, you just didn't quite keep the heat going. It wasn't rolling the same way, but still a good a fun movie to watch. That's for sure. So I think 3 stars would take me to a 6, but that I feel like is way too low. I think, but I don't know if I can really go much higher than like a 7. Like is it on the cusp of being good? That's like that's where I don't know. I think it might just be right on that cusp of like just almost there. So I think maybe just a kind of a 7. Maybe do I give it the full point? I don't know. I guess a 7. It's good. It is good. I did like it. I did have to wake up. And resume it in the morning. But I also had a long. I drove back. I was tired. It's like so.
It's a lot.
I don't blame the movie completely.
We recorded an episode last night. It went pretty late. True. It was that's part of it.
But I mean, so I don't blame the movie totally. But you know what?
I mean, a good movie would have kept you. A really good movie would have kept you.
And maybe if I watched the assembly cut, it would have. I don't know. Who knows?
Like I think it would have. I think it would have. Because
trap in the middle.
If you're gonna give it a 7 for the theatrical cut of the movie, I'm gonna give it an 8 for the assembly cut.
Ooh, there we go. Okay.
I do think the assembly cut is that good. And in keeping with the previous entries, we gave a 10 to Alien. I gave a 9 to Aliens. I'll give an 8 to Alien 3. It does feel like we are those full points removed. And something that I came to kind of realize last night is that on our scale, the average high here is that like a 9 on our scale is probably an 8 on most people's. A 9.5 is probably a 9. A 9.75 is not. Like it's a. There's a lot. We're loving. We are loving. We're very loving. So 8 is probably still high. But we're really loving critics. But I do love the movie. That's the reason I'm a loving critic, is because I don't watch stuff that I don't want to love. I want to love it when I watch it. So. That's where I'm at. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, and I think that brings it to an easy math, 7.5 out of 10 on the cinementilometer.
The cinementilometer, we're 3/4. We are right there. It's very
lovely.
Very, very nice. I like the...
Very nice.
And maybe I don't know. I got to get that assembly viewing in eventually. I feel like, in my future, a box set. After seeing your Bond box set, it's like, ooh, now I want to just get all of the box sets. I want to get Bond. I want to get
box
Alien,
sets are dope. Box sets are dope. I have a Star Wars box set. I have a lot more for TV actually. I can't wait for the Mission Impossible box set. Whenever they have that with all 8, instant cop, instant. I'm pulling trigger on that. There is an Alien box set, but it's only with the first 4, I think. I don't think they've collected all 6 or all 7. They definitely haven't all 7. They might have with the 6, including Covenant.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a Game of Thrones box set and the Westworld box set and let's see, the Batman animated series box set. It's a smaller box, but it's still a box set. Yeah, I've got more TV than I do movies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Indiana Jones. I have an Indiana Jones box set.
Here we go. Looks like they're selling at Walmart right now an Alien 6 film collection, and it ends at Covenant.
So it'd be the first through Covenant. Yeah.
So I guess they just maybe
the Bond box set I just got ends at Spectre, so there's still one more I do not have. The No Time to Die, the most recent one. So like that's I've got 24 of the 25 Bond films added to my collection.
Damn, that's insane. That's awesome.
It's a lot of movies, and I got it for like $2 a pop. Like that's great. Yeah. $2 per movie. Come on. Cannot be bad. But yeah, but okay, 7.5 out of 10. I like it. I like it a lot. And I think with that, we will conclude this episode of Alien 3. And we'll be back next week with Alien Resurrection. Like I said, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, you've been in my life so long, I can't remember anything else.